blue tablecloths, yet they are shorter than the white ones used in the ballroom. Nothing of any interest here. This is a woman's handwriting. What do all these annotations mean?
Please, sir, I have nothing to tell you. Everyone stands ready to accuse me of this foul deed. I have done nothing. I have only seen my father die before my very eyes on day of my majority.
This young lady tells the truth. I can attest to her every move since she first appeared in the doorway. Beg your pardon for speaking so boldly, miss.
Where were you at the moment of the shooting?
I was near the bar speaking with Colonel Patterson. Everybody started applauding and turning towards the stage. I turned to look through the crowd.
Did you notice anything in particular?
When one of the doors opened, I did see a person hidden from the other's view. A beautiful young lady stood just at the threshold. I felt somewhat ashamed for staring at her so intensely, but her considerable charms captured my full attention until the dreadful shooting took place.
Are you sure it was Miss Bromsby?
Yes, Colonel Patterson was next to me and can confirm what I saw. It seems to me that no one else was near us at that precise moment.
What is your reason for being here?
I owe it to Colonel Patterson. We met each other several days ago at his club. He kindly persuaded me to accompany him.
Sir, now will you answer my questions?
I am listening to you.
Where were you precisely when the tragedy occurred?
We had been standing at the bar until the shot rang out, and I personally remained at the bar after it.
Did you happen to notice Miss Bromsby at that moment?
Impossible. My eyesight is so deucedly poor that I would not even notice if a fly fell into my whiskey.
Really?
Yes, damn shame. But I have a fine ear. I can offer much when the questions are about sounds. I can tell you that from all the applause, that old Bromsby had arrived and entered from my right. For the sound to have carried so well, the crowd must have been parted in that direction. I will add that if Lieutenant Harrington says that he saw a flea dancing with a fly in this place, You can take it on trust.
Is there anything else you recall?
Well, hold on a moment. I do have a scoop for your tabloid. I can assure you that Bromsby was killed with a right revolver of small caliber.
How long have you known Lieutenant Harrington?
We met at my officers' club several days ago. A brave boy, you can believe me. What could be better than to invite him to be my guest at this reception, where he could make many fair acquaintances?
Thank you for this information, sir.
Colonel to you.
Were you at that precise spot at the moment of the murder?
Indeed, I was standing just there. I could easily see the door because there were so few people in front of me.
What did you do right after the shot was fired?
I left the room as did almost everyone. I must leave now and make my excuses to Miss Lavinia for my behaviour, don't you think?
Thank you for your help.
It was not a problem.
Sir?
Did you know the Frenchman?
Oh, he chatters on, like all the French. I do not think he came back.
Thank you for your help.
My pleasure, sir.
I am listening.
Very well. Thank you.
My pleasure. Sir?
Thanks, Doctor.
Never mind.
I beg you, please leave me. I will answer only to the authorities.
I should reveal one of my hints. Let me introduce myself. I am Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, the infamous detective. We are heaven blessed by your presence. I am afraid I am still in shock.
Tell us what you saw.
I was behind Sir Bromsby when it all happened. I am sorry, but as such I could not see anything of interest. But I am convinced that Miss Lavinia had nothing to do with it.
Whom do I have the pleasure of addressing?
Oh, I forget myself. We haven't been properly introduced. I am Herman Grimble, advisor to the late Sir Melvyn Bromsby and minority shareholder of Bromsby Enterprises.
So you knew Sir Bromsby well, then?
What a sad end for such a great man. We first met in India several years ago. That would have been before the birth of Miss Lavinia. We have been business associates and friends ever since that moment.
What sort of man was Sir Bromsby?
He was a man with strong character that at times seemed excessive. He was unyielding, but he was a good man.
Have you any knowledge about the succession of his business interests?
I believe that Sir Bromsby had drawn up his will with his attorney and friend Horace Fowlett. When it is read, we will know more about the specifics. But I can assure you that nothing therein would threaten Bromsby Enterprises.
And where is this Mr. Fowlett?
He must have been here, because he would have most certainly been invited. Although he is hardly a person of high society. Where could he be, I wonder?
We have found Sir Bromsby's speech. There's something quite puzzling about it.
Ah, you talk about the notes that I left for him. Sir Bromsby always improvised his speeches in public as well as in business. Nevertheless, it was still necessary to remind him about particular points. So I sometimes made notes for him on a sheet of paper. Hold on, he must have made that odd notation himself. It says something about a peasant and a snake. What could it mean?
Did Sir Bromsby have any enemies?
Oh, there are always those who envy a man who is successful in business. But to say that Sir Bromsby had enemies? No, I cannot think of anyone who would desire his death.
According to many witnesses, Sir Bromsby seemed anxious.
Well, he really was a little worried these days, but it was most certainly due to the strains associated with the reception, ensuring a good time for his guests and the happiness of his daughter. They have not seen each other in 6 years. Perhaps he could not see her in the room.
Thank you very much.
I am at your disposal.
Please leave me. I will answer only to the authorities.
I should reveal one of my hints. Miss, this revolver, is it yours?
Oh, dear God.
Why would you require a pistol?
My father gave it to me shortly after I arrived. Dear God. What will the police make of this? I swear I did not kill my father. No.
But why would he press you to carry a pistol?
He seemed most anxious for my safety and his own. He told me that he would explain everything to me later, after the reception.
Miss, with your consent, I can investigate this matter.
Mr. Holmes, Mr. Grimble has explained to me who you are and what you do. I would be eternally grateful if you could find out who killed my father.
That's all right. I must leave you now. Be strong, miss.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Is there any news, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you very much.
I am at your disposal.
Any more questions?
Thank you, Mary.
Not to worry, sir.
handsome armor. It is not the time to join, Watson. I have not examined everything. I would like to ask you several questions, if you don't mind.
If I can be of help, sir?
What were you doing when the tragedy happened?
I was serving those two gentlemen. As I was occupied, I saw nothing.
Are you one of the household staff?
No, I was sent by the Hartford agency to serve at the reception.
All right, you may take or leave.
Good evening, sir.
Can I be useful to you?
Thank you for your help.
It was not a problem.
Sir?
Thank you for your help.
My pleasure, sir.
It is not the time to join, Watson. I have not examined everything. Train and ship tickets from Geneva to London.
What, more questions?
Well, thank you very much.
It is nothing, dear fellow.
Is there any news, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you very much.
I am at your disposal.
I beg you, give me some time to recover my senses.
I need something. Look, what's this? I asked myself, what was Watson doing while I was searching the house? He was supposed to prevent people from leaving by the back entrance.
Here now, watch your step. If you're a reporter, there'd better be a doctor nearby, because when I get done with you, you'll need one.
Look here, my good man. I am a doctor. Dr. Watson, in fact. And believe me...
Dr. Watson? Hold on. Are you the Dr. Watson who writes about all those cases solved by Sherlock Holmes? I've read all your adventures.
Who are you?
My name is Lamb, Governor. I'm Sir Bromsby's coachman. Tell me, Is he really that clever, this Sherlock Holmes?
Look sharp, Lamb. Sherlock Holmes and I require your able assistance.
No doubt.
Stand firm at the private entrance and make sure no one enters or leaves until Holmes or myself returns.
My pleasure, Dr. Watson. You tell Mr. Holmes that if anybody even steps on the lawn, they'll have to deal with Lamb. And I can tell you, there are few bold enough to dare my fists.
This door is blocked.
That gate is the only way in or out of here, Dr. Watson. I've already secured the other door on orders of Miss Lambert to avoid them nosy reporters. If anyone tries to make a break through the garden, they won't get past me.
I leave you, Lamb.
Right, I'll stand guard.
I shall wait here for the constables to arrive.
Train and ship tickets from Geneva to London.
Miss Lambert, I have been looking for you. What a tragedy.
Simply dreadful. Can't believe what they're saying about Miss Lavinia.
Why did you open the gate so hastily?
I was so upset. I know now it was imprudent. I should have waited until the authorities arrived, but some of those gentlemen were so loudly insistent that I yielded.
Have you informed the police?
The village constable attended the reception. He left on his bicycle, I assume to inform the proper authorities. He told me that an inspector from Scotland Yard was already in the area on official business. I know nothing about the nature of his business, but I was told he should arrive soon.
What sort of man was your employer?
Oh, he was a great man. The people of the hall considered him to be very strict, but I think it was just his way of showing a fatherly attitude. And he dreamed of this day when Miss Lavinia would return.
You have a list of guests.
Oh, of course. I have a complete guest list for the reception. It's inside the dining room. I believe the police will have need of it. Well, nevertheless, I must first caution them to pay little heed to the notations I've made regarding certain names.
Why were these notations made?
Their purpose was to note particular seating arrangements for the meal and the recital, according to specific concerns. Those individuals whom I considered to be very important were marked with a circle.
What about the other odd marks?
Louis-Philippe, Monsieur de la Mizardière, suggested this method of arranging the seating. He also advised me that those guests with poor eyesight and hearing should be seated so that the acoustics and lighting in their room would favour their enjoyment of the recital. So the first category was marked with a point, the second with a cross.
What do you know about this Frenchman?
He is from a noble family, but found himself forced to seek a vocation as a head waiter. He is so inspired and keenly sensitive to the details. At first, I was afraid that Sir Bromsby would take offence with his suggestions, but he had moderated his opinions regarding French culture due to the influence of his friend Horace Fowlett.
What did he do that was so extraordinary?
His assistance was invaluable. He took such concerns with every little detail. The dishes, the tablecloths, everything. He not only declined an offer of lodging here at the hall, he also deferred his wages until the end of the reception. Oh, I would be so glad if he were here now.
And where has he gone?
He had pressing business in London. In fact, he found it necessary to visit his Harley Street physician. It seems his glasses were no longer helping with his eyesight.
You have been very kind, Miss Lambert.
You are most welcome. Oh, what a tragedy.
I shall wait here for the constables to arrive.